Good evening. I'm Chanel, vehicle title expert. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you in advance for subscribing. So tonight, very briefly, I am going to talk about why you cannot receive information as it pertains to your spouse or your child for a title and registration transaction. Okay, I know this may come as a surprise to you. You may be wondering, well, why can't I get the information on that vehicle for my spouse or, my child? I totally get it from a marital point of view and from a parental point of view. I get it. I understand. However, just because you are calling the DMV, it does not mean that they're going to freely give you that information. And the reason why is because of the Privacy Act. Okay, when it comes to the Privacy Act, DMV, they have an obligation to uphold this information. In the event they do not and they just give out information, they can really put themselves, in a liability type of situation. So, again, I get it from a marital and parental point of view, but you cannot just get that information unless you are on the title or registration or both with your spouse or with your child. Okay, keep that in mind before you make that phone call to the DMV, before you visit the DMV. You really want to think about that. If you're not on that title or registration, it's not going to happen unless you have a power of attorney, which I will share in a few seconds. Okay, now when it comes to power of attorneys, this is going to be something that's going to help you to get that information you are seeking, but it depends on the power of attorney that you have. Okay, as an example, a lot of military personnel, they will appoint someone as their power of attorney agent, and that person will have the POA, and when they go to the DMV, they will have that power of attorney to handle their vehicle, or vehicle situations at hand. But the power of attorney must be very detailed and be very specific about what you can do, what you can handle as it pertains to the vehicle titles, registrations, and whatever else for that vehicle. It must be very detailed and specify what it is you can get done. And again, the DMV would not assume either. So the power of attorney is going to be good only if it is detailed enough for that DMV to help you. Okay. So let me add, you don't have to be in the military. I'm just using that as an example because it's a frequent, transaction that happen a lot with military personnel. But if you go to the DMV, you want to have that POA and make sure that it is very detailed because you don't want to get turned away. Okay, you don't. And one thing I want to share is, I know you guys go to the dealership or wherever you get the vehicle or vehicles from. Don't assume that you are on the vehicle title with your spouse or with your child. Okay, do not assume that. If you don't recall signing anything, then chances are you're not on that title or the registration. Do not assume that. Okay, so before you pick up the phone to call the DMV or before you make that visit, really think about that. Are you on the title or that registration? If not, make sure you prepare yourself to have that very detailed POA. And again, it must be, specific enough for the DMV to give you what you are seeking. If you have any questions as it pertains to this segment on tonight, feel free to drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Check me out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Click share and subscribe. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.